Hi everyone, welcome back. If this is your first time, my name is Karen Brar and this is the Hidden Wealth Academy, where we are going on a journey together, journey of stepping into the master creators that we are to help us to bring about whatever it is that we'd like to in our lives, okay? So where do we start with that? Well, first we have to realize that we've got to learn to work with these amazing invisible tools of ours, this higher intelligence that kind of answers all of our questions for us if we can just know how to ask the right questions. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, we've got to look at our 6 mental faculties. Those are our invisible gifts. Just like our 5 senses, we have 6 amazing invisible gifts that are given to us as well. And the first one being our imagination. So I've touched on the imaginations for just a few videos ago, but imagination, my goodness, if you really think about it, what a gift. Human beings can think of whatever they want and we can bring it about. Isn't that amazing? But the thing is, we're usually using our imagination in the wrong way. Okay, one of the ways that we use it is to bring about the worst case scenarios. You know, a lot of clients of mine would say, it's hard for me to imagine, but when it came to something horrible happening, or their child staying out late, or their bank account being at a certain balance, all of a sudden they could imagine loads of stuff going bad. So if you can think of all of that, then you have an imagination. And most of us do. It's just that we need to learn how to focus it in the right way, in a way that will serve us. So how do we start by doing that? Well, first, let's recognize that we have 2 types of imagination. Napoleon Hill talks about these in his book, Think and Grow Rich. If you've not gotten it, go out and get it. It is a great way to step out of our box, okay? So synthetic imagination, what is that? Synthetic imagination is actually when we piggyback off of an old idea, an old concept, okay? For example, someone used a chair, okay? Whenever that first chair was created, that was a creative imagination. And then after that, we came up with lawn chairs and love seats and sofas and wicker chairs and recliners and on and on. So every chair after that came out of synthetic imagination. And synthetic imagination is pretty amazing as well, because can you imagine if we would not have evolved that chair? Okay, so that's synthetic imagination. Then we have something called our creative imagination. And creative imagination, I'm going to use Edison for this as an example. Okay, so did you know that Edison had no idea on how he was going to bring about electricity? But he had this creative idea of, I want to illuminate the world. He actually wrote this down. I will discover and deliver unto the world a system of illumination that's going to rid us of our dependency on the oil lamp. And they say that this is still in the Smithsonian as a part of his exhibit. So he did not know how he was going to illuminate the world, but he knew this is what he wanted to do. And he also knew that he could work with a higher intelligence. He could work with the laws of life that are exact and precise. If he worked with them, they will help them bring this about. Okay, so one of the things he did was he used to take cat naps. He would learn to take questions up to higher intelligence, receive an answer, take action based on that answer, come back with feedback, get another question based on that feedback, take it up to the internet of the universe, come back with another answer. And he did this back and forth thousands of times. Okay, so he had no clue on how this was going to be done, but he knew he was fixated on bringing about electricity. So he did this where people are like, wow, you failed thousands of times. And his answer was, failure? I never failed once. It was all feedback. So actually he was a master at going up to higher intelligence and getting the answers that he needed. So creative imagination is going to take some of this, okay? It's going to take not some of it, a lot of it. It's going to take us learning how to sync up with our life force, okay? Because it is going to be a concept greater than we've ever known or the world's ever known. So that is a little bit on your synthetic imagination as well as your creative imagination. So now we know about the 2 differences. How do we start to apply them into our lives? How do we start to fire up our synthetic imagination, our creative imagination, to bring about a life we'd love? Well, tune in, and I promise I will share as much as I can and see how I can help you guys step into just that, okay? And with that being said, to your genius.